Good afternoon, everyone. Myself Atul MV. I'm pursuing MTech Automobile Engineering from Wheeltech RI Collaboration. Today, I'm here to present my assignment topic on the subject electric and hybrid vehicle. The topic given was to select any particular vehicle and to discuss about its electrical components or the electrical system used in the vehicle. So, the model that was selected by me was Hyundai Santro Zing. Uh, Hyundai Santro was the first car that was launched in India by Hyundai Motors. So this car became the platform for the growth of Hyundai in the Indian market. As we all know that Hyundai is there in the Indian market for more than 20 years now. So this was the platform through which Hyundai Group were growing in India. So this car was launched in 2008, which was later discontinued in the year 2005. And this car became popular in India because of the features available in the vehicle and the space available in the vehicle. This was the first car, I think, that was launched with a power steering option, and the interior space available was in such a way that a, a, a medium sized family could easily travel anywhere with much luxury and much comfort. So this car was powered by different engines. You can have a petrol variant, you can have a CNG plus petrol variant, or you can also have an LNG variant. And there was also an electrical variant which was not launched in India. Now coming to our topic, so the battery specification. The battery capacity for this that was used in this particular vehicle was 35 mAh, and the voltage system was of 12 volt. If we particularly define and the battery, it was if we particularly go for the manufacturer, it was Exide battery, I think. Now coming to the second point, that is the alternator specification. As we know that alternator is a system that is used to recharge the battery while the car is running. The voltage specification for the alternator that was used in this car was 14 volt, and the amperage rating was 35 amp or 70 amp, that depends upon the model. Now coming to the next topic, that is a low voltage system used in this car. The low voltage system that was particularly used in this car was music system, that was having a voltage rating of 12 volt. Then the radiator fan was also using a low voltage system having 12 volt supply. Then all the lighting system were also having the low voltage system of 12 volt. The ECU system was using a voltage system of 5 volt. Then the power steering system was using a voltage rating of 9 volt. Then the air compressor system was using the voltage system of 12 volt. Other than this, the instrument panel and the door lock system and all the sensors were also using low voltage system. Now coming to the high voltage system. As we know that high voltage system is a system that is involved with very high voltages, that is more than 60 volt. So the high voltage system in this vehicle will be an ignition system. Since this is an IC engine powered vehicle, to generate a spark we need very high voltages. So ignition system is a high voltage system that is used in this car. Now coming to the next topic, that is types of load acting on this vehicle. So in an electrical load can be classified into three types, particularly resistive type load, capacitive type load, and the inductive type load. Now discussing about all the loads that is used in the system in this car. In resistive type load, we can classify glow plug system, the thermistor, the NTC sensors, all these systems comes under resistive type load. Now coming to the capacitive type load. Capacitive type loads are generally front beam, in front beam, in rear beam, in fog lamps, in ABS modules, in tail lights, in number plate lights. In all these systems we use capacitive type loads. Now coming to the inductive type loads. Inductive type loads are generally used in systems that we use motors or all solenoids. So in a vehicle, the inductive type system would be solenoid valve, relays, the door locking motors, the fuel injection pump, the power window, the central locking, cooling fans, power steering pumps, wiper motors. So now coming to the next topic, the specification for all the electrical components in the car. Now I'll be telling about different systems and their particular rated voltage. Now coming to the multifunctional switch. The multifunctional switches are dimmer and passing switches, the lighting switches, the turn signal, the wiper switches, the washer switches, the rear wiper and washer switches, and the horn switch. There are many more components, but I have listed out only these things. So the dimmer and the passing switch would be using 121.4 watt for the high beam, and for low beam they will be using 110 watt, and for the pass they would be using 121.4 watt. The rated voltage would be 12 volt. Now coming to the lighting switch. The lighting switch will be having a rated load of 124.1 volt, and the rated voltage would be 12 volt. Now the tail light would be having a rated load of 40 watts, and the voltage would be 12 volt. Now the turn signal indicators would be having a rated load of 57 watts, and the voltage system would be 12 volt. Then the wiper switch. The wiper switch will be having a motor load of 4 amps and the relay load of 0.22 plus minus 0.5 amps. They would be having a rated voltage of 12 volt. The washer switch. The washer switch would be having a motor load of 4 amps and a rated voltage of 12 volts. Coming to the rear wiper and washer switch. The washer switch will be having a motor load of 4 amps and a rated voltage of 12 volt. Now coming to the horn switch. The horn switch would be having a rated load of 7 amps and a rated voltage of 12 volt. Now coming to the next topic, that is the instrument and warning lamps. So here I will be discussing the bulb wattage for all the different lighting system that we use. So the high beam would be using 3 watt. For low beam it is 3 watt. For turn signal it is 1.2 watt. For battery 1.2. For oil pressure 1.2. For airbag 1.2. For parking brake 1.2. Seat belt 1.2. check engine and ABS and immobilizers, all these would be using 1.2. This bulb wattage is for the instrument panel telltale indicators. Now coming to the lighting system bulb wattage. So the bulb wattage for the high beam would be 60 watt, and for the low beam it would be 55 watt. For the turn signal bulb it would be 21 watt, and for the position bulb it would be 5 watt, and the front fog lamp would be using a 21 watt bulb. Now coming to the rear combination lamps, The tail or the stop will be using 5/21 watt bulbs, and the backup bulb would be 16 volt. The turn signal bulb would be 5 volt. The rear fog lamp would be 10 volt. The side repeater lamp would be 5 volt. The room lamp would be 10 volt. The luggage lamp room lamp would be 8 volt. The high mounted stop lamp would be 16 volt. The license plate lamp would be 5 volt. These are all the bulb wattage for the different lighting system. Now coming to the audio system, like this car is having a radio plus CD type audio system employed in this car. So the rated output would be 20 watt into 4, like 4 speakers. Then the load impedance would be 4 ohm into 4, and the dark current would be 2 milliampere. Now going to the next topic, that is a windshield wiper. The windshield wiper motor would be having a rated voltage of 12 volt DC, and the front wiper would be having an low 3.5 amps current, and for high it would be 7 amps. Now the rear wiper would be having 2.5 to 12.5 amps current. Now coming to the next topic, that is a keyless entry switch. This car was also having the feature called as the automatic door locks and child locks. So for the keyless entry switch, we have the receiver general input, the receiver general output, and the code saver communication, and the transmitter as the different components. So for the receiver general input, we have different specifications. Like for door warning switch, we have a high level 7 volt DC current, 7 volt DC voltage. For the driver door lock switch, we have low level DC 5 volt or less. For driver door switch, we have close DC 4.5 volt or more. For the assist door switch, we have open DC 5 volt or less. For the receiver general output, the hazard relay is of 12 volt DC, having a current rating of 200 milliampere, and the door lock relay is having a rated voltage of 1.2 volt, and the door unlock relay is having a rated voltage of 2.0 volt. So this system is a inductive type system. Then coming to the code saver communication. In the code saver, we have a high DC 3 volt or more. For the low would be DC 2.0 volt or less. Now the transmitter, this is a power source, so it is having a lithium DC 3 volt battery. Now coming to the general circuit amperages. So the different in a vehicle, they have different circuits, and for each circuit the amperage rating are different. So for the I will be discussing a few in this. So for ABS control, it is 30 amp. For the blower control circuit, it would be 20 amp, and the ignition power source 50 amp. Battery power source circuit, it is 50 amp. For the lamp circuit, it is 30 amp. For the ABS control, again 30 amp. I have already discussed that. The radiator fan control, it is 30 amp, and for the power window control, it is 30 amp. Now the different fuses used for the circuit would be, so for the headlamp we will be using a 50 amp fuse. For the AC on controls, we will be using a 10 amp fuse. For the left tail lamp, we will be using a 10 amp switch. For the right tail lamp, we will be using 10 amp switch. For the front fog lamp, we will be using 15 amp fuses. For the engine control relay, we will be using 20 amp fuse. For the horns, we will be using 10 amp fuse. For the power window, we will be using 10 amp fuse. For the ABS, we will be using 10 amp fuse. And for the left headlamp, rear fog lamp and DRL control, we will be using 10 amp or 15 amp switches, fuses. For the right headlamp on and the DRL control, we will be using again 10 amp fuse. For the blower, rear window defogger, we will be using 10 amp fuse. For the wiper and the washer, we will be using 20 amp fuse. For the power door lock, door warning control, we will be using 15 amp switch fuse. For the hazard lamp or the data link connector, we will be using 10 amp fuse. For the stop lamp, shift and key lock control, we will be using 10 amp fuse. For the rear window defogger, we will be using 20 amp fuse. For the digital clock, audio, room lamp or the instrument cluster, we will be using 10 amp fuse. For the airbag, we will be using 15 amp fuse. And for the AC and blower control, we will be using 10 amp fuse. Now coming to the next system, that is a sensor specification. So I have listed out some of a few of the sensors that are used in a vehicle and the specification for the same. So the throttle position sensor, that is a TPS sensor. For that, the resistance would be 0.7 to 3 kilo ohm, and the voltage rated voltage would be 0.1 to 0.875 volt. For the MAP sensor, that is a manifold air pressure sensor, the rated voltage would be 0 to 5 volt. Now for the solenoid valve, we will be using a 26 ohm resistive load. Now for the engine coolant temperature, it would be 1.0 to 4 kilo ohm. Then oxygen sensor, the rated voltage would be 0 to 1 volt. And for the camshaft position sensor, we will be using 0 to 5 volt, 0.05 volt rated voltage sensors. Now coming to the last and the final topic, the different DC to AC and or AC to DC converters. So I could find only a very few details. So a DC to AC converter will be used in the alternator to convert the AC supply into a DC supply. The alternator would be producing an alternating current which needed to be converted into a DC to charge the battery. So we would be using an AC to DC converter at the alternator. And finally, a DC to AC converter would be used in the power steering system for this particular vehicle. So thank you. That's all about my topic. Thank you. Thanks once again.